That's a crazy thing.
All right, back on.
Yeah, it shall not. It will not tarry. It will not lie.
Yeah.
Going back to when we first came into this thing, right? 2008, 2009, 2010, right? The apostles, elders, even the men before them. The prophets old prophesied of these things that's happening now, right? And they said when this happens, it's going to be like a snowball effect. It's going to be one after another. Every year, it's going to seem like more things is happening. It's going to be speeding up, right?
Yeah.
Like the birth
Tell you
pains.
cold.
Like birth pains, like a woman in travail. So I'm saying that to say this. That was less than 10 years and all this shit happened. That was less than 10 years. And they was like, there's going to be wars. They're going to try to invade countries. Russia ain't going to allow it. China not going to allow it. And now we're living it. That's the point. We're living what the prophets of old been talking about since before we was even here. And it's happening. That's why I said it shall not lie. It shall not tarry. It's going to happen. Right? It says, in the end, it shall speak. It's speaking. It's manifesting. Right? And not lie, though it tarry, though it seem like it's taking long, which is not. Wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. Behold, the soul which is lifted, behold, the soul, his soul, which is lifted up, is not upright in him.
Yeah, that's a so-called white man. You know, his soul is lifted up, man. He got that pride, man. You know, he don't think he could get taken down. He think, you know, he could police the whole world. You know, like this is his shit. You know, he dictates nations on what they can and what they can't do. Going to South China Sea, telling China they can't be putting military bases in their own sea. You know, it's called South China Sea for a reason, man. You know? So that's the devil's pride, man. The soul which is lifted up is not upright in him. You know? That's why this devil is allowing, you know, these different, the filthiness to go on throughout the four corners of the earth, man. You know, LGBT, you know, and all things of that nature, man. You know? They're mixing genes, you know, changing DNA with the juice, you know? That's his soul not being upright in him, man. You know, trying to turn the things of the Most High upside down, man. What the Most High already established, man. You know? Got more?
It says, but the just shall live by faith.
The just shall live by faith, man. And that's what we're going to have to run off of in the times that we're coming into, man. Because brothers are going to lose their jobs, man. You know? We're not going to be able to go to the supermarket, man. You know? All hell is about to break loose, man. So the only thing that's going to save us in that time, that's going to keep us, is the faith that we have now, man. You know, because we're open for a better ending, man. You know, we know what's coming after these tribulations, man. You know, but these people, when these tribulations start to take place, they're going to fold because they're not going to see a light at the end of the tunnel, man. They don't know what's next, man. They just going to think, they just going to see nothing but calamities upon calamities and calamities until the destruction comes, man. You know?
It says, yea, also, because he transgresseth by one. He is a proud man, neither keepeth at home.
Yeah, that's it. You keep it at home. What are you doing in Ukraine? What are you doing over there in the Middle East, man? You know, you're thousands of miles away from home base, man. You know, here it is, you all the way in the west, in the east, in the north, in the south. You in Antarctica where there's nobody even lives there, man.
Exactly.
What are you doing up there, man? You in space? It's like, when are you gonna stop? You underwater, you got submarines, you got underground military bases, you know? This devil's everywhere, man. You need to keep it at home. That's why the scriptures refer to him as a vagabond, man. You know?
Wanderer.
Yeah, wanderer, man. He has no place to call home.
Yeah, and even when you go back to Khazars, the word Khazar go back to wanderer. You know the Khazars, the so-called Jews, you know what I mean? Small hats. And that's how they made it to the land of Israel. They was up in the Georgia, Russia, around the Caucasus Mountains. They spread themselves, they converted to Judaism. They spread themselves into Europe. That's why they call themselves Ashkenazis. You know what I mean? And then the own elites were sacrificing their people via like Germany and the so-called propaganda with Hitler and all that, just so they could establish a foothold to get the state of Israel. That's what World War II was about. You know?
That's what it's all about, man.
Right.
You know?
It says, yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home.
Right.
Who
So
in-
by expansion. You know, they can never have right. They can never have enough. And which that's gonna lead to their destruction because they're gonna over expand themselves to the point they're gonna spread the military thin.
Too thin, yeah.
That was one of the components what made ancient Rome fall. Over expansion and spreading out the military thin. Because you have pretty much they're gonna have to send troops to Ukraine.
Right.
But they need a pretext to justify themselves going there because the Americans don't want to go to war, especially after the so-called pandemic and everything. So they're gonna have to create a so-called attack, that would justify themselves sending troops over there. They're already talking about a potential cyber attack, and they could use the cyber attack as a pretext to say, you know what, now we gotta send troops over there, and because our national security is in threat, but they're gonna have to eventually do it. So that's gonna happen, and then eventually they gotta go back to the Middle East.
Yeah, I was thinking.
So it's gonna be a lot going on.
Yeah.
There's gonna be too much going on to the point where that's gonna lead to their downfall.
And this is the same MO that America's been pulling throughout ages.
Yep.
There's another false flag attack.
Yep.
9/11, false flag.
Yeah,
Pearl Harbor, false flag.
Niggas out of here.
Whenever they ready to start wars, they create these fucking events, these catastrophes. Order out of chaos. We gotta bring the order because there's chaos. Right? Same MO. There's no new thing under the sun. This devil's pulling the same trick, and the Lord woke us up to it. The Lord woke us up to it. All right?
No, it's my
So it says, who enlargeth his desire as hell.
Hell is the grave, So just like there's always, new graves or new deaths, that's his desire. That's his how much greed he has. Because it's always gonna be death, just like he's always gonna want.
It says, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied.
Like death is never gonna be satisfied. Every day there's only gonna be somebody dying. And there's always gonna be a want that Esau wants. That he always gonna be a want that he's gonna inquire. He can have the whole world. Guess what? That's not gonna be enough.
No.
He's gonna want control of the moon, the sun.
Right.
He's gonna want control of the spiritual world.
Yeah.
If he could, But we know that's impossible, but that's his mind frame. It's never enough for him. Okay?
It says, but gather unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people.
Right. That's why U.S. is always looking for a reason to expand in the country by so-called liberalizing them. Then they set up an embassy over there, and after they set up an embassy, they want to set up the puppets, because there's what's the woman name? Victoria. Forget her name. No. It's gonna come to me later, but she was caught. She was caught on audio years ago talking about how she wanted what their plan was for who's going to be the prime minister in Ukraine. And that was caught on audio. I think it's Victoria Treadman, if I'm not mistaken. Victoria, Secretary of the State.
Let me read this again. It says,
yeah, she said that's her.
Newland.
Victoria Newland. She was called on audio talking about, how she wanted to, what was their plans on, them expanding to the Ukraine. This is years ago, and she was also caught on audio saying, F the EU. So that's how they feel. What's her position? The secretary.
It's a U.S. diplomat.
type her name in. They're gonna tell you right there.
U.S. Secretary of State for Political Affairs. Like,
Yeah, so that's
Whoever get it first.
oh, wow.
so that's her position. But it's not only her that think like that. It's all of Washington think like that.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It says, shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his? And that's exactly what's going on there. Putin is calling out NATO and the EU and America out when they bullshit. He told Ukraine it wouldn't be wise for them to join them because you're starting war. I'm gonna be forced to do something. I'm not just gonna let you do what the fuck you want.
I know you gotta make your
Yeah,
moves cold.
you know what? You're a sovereign nation. You know what's best for you and your people and the country. But the more that they make new allies, he's making more enemies. So he's forced Putin's hand, which because honestly, you don't know what the fuck is real. And this shit could be a whole psyop thing too. The elites.
I would say that
Yeah,
whole
the
wars
elites.
is bankers wars.
Yeah,
They
this
know
could
the
be-
play, bro. You know what I mean? The bankers fund both sides every time. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? They got the Western propaganda, then they got some secret, you know what I mean, on that side, on Russian side. You know what I
Real
mean?
talk. That's what I'm saying. The only thing that's true is the scriptures.
Right.
I can't even believe everything I see in the news, man. When we get into the kingdom, we find out how much this devil did lie. Like, what was fucking real? What you was telling the truth about?
So it says,
Probably nothing.
yeah, that's why I say how all the things that be so searched out.
So it says, shall not all these take up a parable against him and a taunting proverb against him, saying, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his? How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay, which is debt, which America just caused another inflation, which the dollar isn't even worth anything to take away, but it's even worth less than that now. The dollar wasn't shit to begin with. But now it's even less than the shit that they didn't even make it to be. It ain't worth nothing. So it says, shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them? Because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee, because of men's blood, and for the violence of the land and of the city, and all that dwell therein. And this is the judgment that's written. He that goeth into captivity he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. Because you, what's the scripture saying? Because you took the land by violence. Violence shall pursue thee. You getting what you sowed in the earth, Esau. And all this is to lead up to your demise. You thinking that you fucking setting up pieces and moving things how it can move towards your new world order agenda, but it's to your other end. It's to your other end, man. Yeah.
This is Isaiah 24:21. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, shall punish the host of the high ones that are on high, and the kings of the earth upon the earth.
Yeah, there's something about the elites, man. You know, that's the day that we're coming into. That's why you see them rushing this agenda, man. You know, because they know that that time is nigh at hand, man. You know, that's why they rushing it, man. They're being sloppy, man. You know, the narrative is falling, man. Now you got different states, you know, doing away with the mandates, you know, that they're passing. New York City, you know, Chicago, you know, and all types of other states is doing away with the mandates, man. You know, that's why they're telling you another one is coming. You know, a bigger one, a new bird flu, a scamdemic is coming, man. You know, because the narrative is falling apart, man. You know, but it says what? That the kings of the earth is gonna be punished, man. You know, because after World War III, man, you know, you devils are gonna get taken out of power, man.
That's right.
You know, they're thinking that they're gonna be in their bunkers, the missiles go ahead, they're gonna come out of the bunkers and have a great reset. You know, they just resetted the world, and now they got the world completely under tight grip. Nah, man, that's not gonna happen, man. You know? All right, bro.
Verse 22, and they shall be gathered together as prisoners are gathered in the pit, and shall be shut up in the prison.
Yeah, because we're gonna go down there in those bunkers. If you could get Amos 9, you know, those bunkers that they have, you know, the elect, they're gonna go down there to gather them up, man, in order for them to become the first crops of slave in the kingdom of heaven. You know? So it says what? Read that again?
It says, and they shall be gathered together as prisoners are gathered in the pit.
Yeah, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity, man. And you're gonna get put in a pit, man, a dungeon. We're literally gonna have a big hole that we put you devils in, you know, till we go gather the rest of the nations and come back and give you whatever task you're gonna have to do, man. And ain't gonna be no light task, man. You know, we're gonna send you in the mines, we're gonna send you in the water to dig up them different precious metals, you know, to build up our kingdom, man. You know, and the most laborious work you're gonna have to do is to clean up the land of Israel and the lands round about it from those dead bodies, man. That's gonna be a hell of a job, man. You're gonna have to deal with smelling the stench from those dead bodies, man. Ain't gonna be no fucking mask for you to stop the smell, man.
Right.
You know, that's gonna be pure hell, man.
Yeah.
You know? Hey, man, dead body, that's worse than fucking trash, man. You
Yeah.
think them niggas that's picking up garbage, you think their job is hard? Wait till you get your job, man. You know? And at least they can have a break and rest and have vacation. Your ass is gonna work 6 days out of the week, man. You know? The only time you're gonna have off is the Sabbath, man. And even when it's a Sabbath, you're gonna try to recover from last week. You know? Because you're gonna be getting stricken on a daily basis, man. You know?
Their minds are going to be tormented. Yeah. You see how we dealing with trauma?
Yeah.
We still dealing with trauma. Even being in truth, we dealing with trauma.
Yeah.
This devil's going to have trauma even on the Sabbath. When we in our Sabbath, we still got you to hell. They going to fucking catch hell too, man.
That's right.
That shit
That's
ain't no breaks, man. Yeah, the Sabbath's a day of rest. I know the scriptures say that, but they ain't going to be resting. Like you said, they're going to be so broken down, trying to recover, but their minds are going to be tormented. I'm going to have giant fucking insects staring at them all fucking night, all Sabbath.
Yeah, wait until that.
They're going to have bed bugs on them. They're going to be tormented, man.
That's right. That's right.
Fuck that.
That's right.
No rest for Esau, man.
The Sabbath was made for men, not for the animals.
Yeah,
The animals still gonna be getting busy with
Yeah,
it,
man. Yeah, it's a lot. That was it.
It says, and after many days they shall be visited.
Yeah,
the,
wrap it up with that.
the moon, then the moon shall be confounded, and the sun ashamed, when the Lord of hosts shall reign in Mount Zion and in Jerusalem, and before his ancients gloriously.
That's right. Okay, so with that we're gonna close and give all praises, glory, and honor to
Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kakwadash.
Peace and double honor to the apostles that give us his truth and all his purity, and salutations to all the occupants in this world throughout the four corners of the earth. Bob and Bull.
Abad Bull.
Shalom.
Shoot a drop sign. That's how I was looking.
Yeah.